Chapter 3. Sometime in the 70's. When I think back to being a little kid, I almost always picture these memories in sunshine. It's like my childhood exists in eternal summer, so that must be a good thing, I would think. I have such a strong feeling of heat and sun connected with a collage of remembrances. My kids are probably totally sick of me being all wistful about an age in which there was so much connection with being outdoors. It's called grounding today, but being outside without shoes most of the time was just part of being outside. That means, if you live those al fresco eras, you have printed on your mind all the earthly textures of your world. I can conjure the feel of the sidewalk under my bare feet, that warm, hard, brushed concrete. How hard it felt under my little heels as I padded along. The rough plastic of my bike or tricycle pedals. Cool, thick, soft carpet of grass in the shade. Warm, almost sweaty feeling of grass in the sun. Painful, sharp gravel driveways, slow and careful. Scorching hot pavement, go fast. The sharp, stinging, shocking, electric, painful surprise of stepping on a pricker hiding in the lawn. The little uncomfortable sticks in those secret, shady, unpruned areas around trees and shrubs. Greasy dog poop squooshing all smelly surprise between my toes. Warm puddles when the sun came back out after it rained. Solid, cool, bare earth in those spots around decrepit sheds in quiet corners of the yard. The exotic unpleasantness of boggy fields with wide, sharp grasses. Clearly our feet have the potential to have a whole catalog of memories as well. No wonder someone's always harping at us to get outside and get our feet back onto the earth. My dad, during those years, had a maroon-red bicycle with a wire basket on the front. "Want to go for a bike ride, Shorty?" he would ask. Of course I did. He would scoop me up and sit me side saddle on the crossbar, put my little hands on the inner portion of the handlebars, lean over me and put his hands beside mine, both of us with bare feet. "Okay, hold on tight," and off we'd go. I love that feeling like we were going so fast, with that nice little breeze blowing my hair off my face. I can hear the sound of the tires on the pavement and the little metallic tink, tink noises of the wheels spinning. It wasn't the most comfortable ride, though. That crossbar was super hard under my little bum. I asked Dad a few times why I couldn't just ride in the basket on the front of the bike. He would reply that I was too big for it. I wasn't convinced. One time I stuck my leg out a bit too far by accident and got my foot squashed for a second in the spokes of the spinning front tire. Dad stopped the bike immediately, but I was crying. When he brought me home, Mom had a bath ready for me. I thought at the time this was very wise of Mom, and surely she'd gotten that bath ready to make my foot and leg feel better. I'm pretty sure that it just happened to be bath night. I would happily go everywhere with Dad when I was little. "Want to come for a ride, Shorty?" he'd cheerfully ask. And I didn't care where we were going, but I'd be happy to hop in the car. The problem was that usually we had to stop by Dad's work, which was the fire hall, or some other place that involved talking to people. I was very shy and found talking to people fairly overwhelming, but that didn't detract me from wanting to go nearly everywhere with my daddy. The firefighters were friendly and would pass by with a loud and amiable "Hi there!" as I tried to hide out in the hall, because I'd declined Dad's offer to go into an actual office with him. Or maybe, "What's your name?" Or, "Who are you here with?" And I'd have to croak out a hello, or my name, or say that I was there with my daddy. And they'd practically shout back, "Oh yeah? Who's your daddy?" And I'd tell them, and then Dad would come back out, thank God. And they'd have some embarrassing chat about what a nice little girl Dad has. And he'd always gush and say, "She sure is," and tell the other guy, "That's my baby," or "That's my short pie." And I'd just try to smile and be polite and hope the attention would be taken off me very soon. When I'd go out with Mom, it was usually for groceries, because I was young and Dad was at work. My brother wasn't always there with us. I guess he must have been at school. We'd often stop in to visit Grandma after Mom got groceries. Grandma would give me a giant glass of whole milk and something to eat that was much too big for me. I believe it was spring or summer when I was 4 that I had an inner conversation with myself, questioning the purpose of underwear. I came to the conclusion that I really couldn't see any point in wearing it. If you're wearing pants or shorts, aren't underpants redundant? I decided they were and took it upon myself to not wear them. Problem is, I was also terrible at wiping my bum. Keep that in mind. So after groceries one warm day, we pulled into Grandma's driveway, and when we got out of the car, Mom was horrified to see a skid mark on the back of my tight, pale, blue polyester shorts. She made much ado about it, which I found quite embarrassing. But since we were already there, she had to think fast, and told me that if Grandma asked, we would say that I accidentally sat on some melted chocolate in the car. I gulped and hoped for the best. Almost immediately after coming in the house, Polish Grandma took one look at my shorts and said, "What she got it on her pants?" Mum tried to sound casual with a breezy laugh. "Oh, she sat on some melted chocolate or something in the car." I will never forget my grandmother's face as she said nothing but continued to stare at my shorts. To me, even at that young age, the look on her face said, "Bullshit." I went back to wearing underwear after that. Thoughts. For months I've been doing a lot of guided meditations I find online. If I can't sleep at night, I just sit up in bed, turn my phone back on, pop in my earbuds, and choose a meditation. A couple that I have done focus on releasing fear and anxiety and work on emotional healing. In these meditations, I have been prompted to examine where in my body I feel this fear and pain. You visualize this pain, the shape of it, if it has any, the color of it. You travel, so to speak, right into it and see what you discover there. You determine if it is moving, vibrating, shifting within you, or if it is solid as stone. You sit with it, without judgment, and then you mentally allow yourself to see it being released. It may take several attempts. I know where my pain sits. It sits right on my shoulders and upper back. It wraps itself around my neck. It sits and it stays like my own personal fucking albatross. Do you know the story of the albatross? It's a poem, actually. You can look it up if you care to. Basically, the albatross represents a great burden you must bear, literally, in the case of the man in the poem, and metaphorically, as the great weight of what you carry in your heart and mind. In the poem, it is a burden the man must carry as penance for killing this mythological bird. I have been carrying this albatross on my shoulders for some time, though it did not manifest itself as physical tension and pain for many years. Not until about 4 to 6 months ago. The question is, what did I kill? So what is my penance? Why did I feel this need to carry this sorrow and anxiety? Is it because I thought of myself as a victim to all that had happened in my life? I believed that I was sadness, and that was my identity? That I had a responsibility to carry this identity around without questioning it? That I had earned the right to be traumatized? That I had earned the right to be a nervous wreck? That I had earned the right to become a victim from all that had happened? Garner some sympathy? That I was the one who lived after my boyfriend and my parents died, and I was not the one who had to nearly starve to death like Hubs? Was it guilt? Was it an offering of how deeply sorry I was to the people I loved? That these things happened to them and not me? Maybe it was all of that. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was just a nervous system that had been erroneously rewired after so many years of stress. A smoking, zapping circuit board. Whatever it was, I am done with that.